going wrong. He's dragging that boat over there. Let me see. He's now there. He wasn't there. There's no one on the boat. He was all the way there. He dragged all the way. We're motoring. We got a motor on.
Now we're going
and we're really close to them, but I think we're okay.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm actually shaking. Oh, okay.
Four years ago I crewed on other people's boats across the Pacific Ocean and learned the basics of sailing. After I had to stop building my cabin in Spain last year, I decided to return back to the ocean.
Since recently we have our own small boat in Guatemala, it turned out to be a bit more of a lemon than expected, and we are now transforming the boat into lemonade.
Or limonada. And
step by step we are getting closer to sail the Caribbean and eventually the rest of the world together.
We're on the way back from Cayo Quemado to Rio Dulce, and on the way here everything went fine. Hopefully now also everything goes fine, but we stopped for a swim.
I was actually looking for some vegetarian meats replacement products, and I haven't found them until yesterday. This is a can with vegetarian sausages. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try them out right now. And yeah, dried soya pieces. You can put them in sauce like bolognese or make them with the tacos. So I'm actually really happy I found that, finally. I'm now going to make egg with mushrooms, yellow onion, some parsley, and these are the vegetarian sausages. I think I'm maybe going to bake them and not cook them, and with tortillas. Yeah, so I decided to put them in a pan instead of cooking them. Huub gets more than me, because he needs to gain some weight.
This is amazing. You are amazing. Thank you. Today I'm going to take off my back chain plate. If you remember an earlier video of mine where I took off the middle chain plates, one of them just broke when I took it off. So yeah, it seems like a good idea to take this one off too, especially before we go sailing. And now I'm going to first loosen the front stay and then take it up. I have loosened the forestay by taking this bolt loose and then twisting the drum about 6 times. And now let's go to the back. So this is the stay I'm gonna take off, and that is the main halyard. I connected it to a cleat over here, so that is going to hold the mast. This one is actually looking pretty good. Also, these bolts look really good, as if they're renewed sometime. The other bolts from the other chain plates looked horrible. Since I've actually remade those 3 and I've got this one out now, I don't really see a reason not to remake one more and have a little bit of thicker steel. Do I have to be scared now? Alright, back at the workshop, and it is hot. My disc is broken, so I better not use this one. Old one, new one. After today, I know one thing for sure. If something on my rig will break, it will not be my chain plates. Sweet, the new chain plate is in. Ready for some sailing. Yeah. Okay, so important now in this weather is to look if we're not dragging or getting close to other places. This is going wrong. He's dragging that boat over there. Let me see. He's now there. He wasn't there. There's no one on the boat. He was all the way there. He dragged all the way. We're motoring. We got a motor on.
Now we're going
and we're really close to them, but I think we're okay.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm actually shaky. Oh, okay.
Happy it's over. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You did a great job handling the steering wheel, honey. Really. It's over.
It's not good for my heart. Ah.
We're going to the boat where we just almost hit.
Cambodia, so you can grab onto that. Then it was quite a little squall.
Well, luckily you didn't last very long.
No.
And this is how we end up at the neighbor, which we never met, but because we were almost hitting his boat.
We brought him a beer.
And now we're drinking beers here. That was the first time in my life that I was dragging, well, with my boat. And I was shouting in the rain to the guy next to us, am I dragging or are you dragging? And I didn't know, so we just came back from this man and he's like older and alone on the boat, so obviously he's not gonna pick up his chain. And we re-anchored and I was the one who was dragging, and I need to work on my anchor skills.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, sorry.
So that I know for sure that the anchor is set really well. And that boat it's been left there for like a month. It dragged like 100 meter, was it like 300 feet or something? Like wow, I was thinking about leaving the boat behind when I have to go to, I don't know, Guatemala City for visa renewal.
No way.
That's not a good idea.
No
We're
way.
gonna put it in a marina.
Well, actually, I'm happy that this happened because now
Yeah,
I know
me
we're
too.
not going to leave this boat on anchor
Yeah.
when we are away. No way.
Ah, the boat is like a worry child. Today we're going sailing and hear about the good and the bad about the boat. The dinghy didn't want to start this morning, so that's not a good start, but
hopefully the big boat starts.
how's it going there, Captain?
Yeah, I don't know. You got a little bit of sun damage.
A little bit of some separation happening here. We'll have to check it out, see.
Oh damn.
Maybe these are just telltales.
And it looks like one of your slides is broken here. It is very old and worn.
Oh, it goes up easily. Damn.
That one's broken here.
What's my biggest problem?
The biggest problem is the leech is separating. The back of the sail luffs a lot, and so then you get a lot of damage. So that definitely needs to be addressed.
This thing just broke off.
Yeah,
Well,
this
that's not
side
really
came
ideal.
loose, but then this one did not come loose. Instead, the whole thing came loose very easily. See, you can see the screws are actually completely rusted off, so they're inside of the deck now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
There's the stitching in the head of the sail is all gone. So that all needs to be restitched. So you wouldn't want to rip it open more, right? But you can check stitching by running your fingernail over it like this. And if it doesn't break, it's good. It's not rotten. But then like here, if you do it, it all breaks. So that's all rotten stitching that needs to come out. But the good news, I mean the sail's very old and tired, but like this stitching all seems okay. So the leech damage is pretty common, and then this all needs to be addressed. Make sure you don't rip the sail off.
Is that like repairable or no?
Everything is repairable. Just depends on, is it?
It may have a limited amount of miles left in it.
But the best thing would be to get it off the boat and spread it out.
So we found out that the winch pad, this is from the jib, is corroded here, it's fully broken. And here it's actually not as bad as the other side, but here you also see the crack that this pad is also broken. Your life is not in my hands, your life is in Dirk's hands.
Oh Lord.
Captain Dirk.
Rolling lines, read a rock.
We're sailing! Woohoo! Doing my little sailing dance.
Beautiful!
All the way! Oh,
Are you happy? Look at that, our first sail! Little salamander crew member over here.
Here, Ryan, finish that one.
How's it feel? How's she feel?
Well,
She talking to you? What's she saying?
she's saying I need a whole lot of repairs and then I will be amazing to you.
Aww.
Rose, let go! I love you, Rose!
We are being towed because apparently we have a fuel issue. So I hopefully now after putting in new fuel we'll be fine. We are about to spend some money. Last time we were in the storm and I was so happy that Keith advised me to install the starter battery, because if we could have not started the boat, because I don't think at the house batteries it would have been possible to start the boat because we have the problem with the house bank batteries. If we could have not started the boat when we dragged 200 or 300 feet, that would have been a major issue. So safety first. Gotta spend some money, I'll show you. So what I have right now on the list is, okay, I need one part for the toilet because it's leaking. So my depth sounder broke. This is the cheapest Raymarine depth sounder that I could find, $224. It's debatable if you need it or not. You need a ARS receiver. This is an ARS transponder and receiver that you can actually send to the iPad. The difference is on the ARS receiver, you can see other boats that have a transceiver. Transceiver sends out the signal, receiver receives it. And this one's a bit more expensive, but it does both. So when we're in a real fog or whatever situation, I just know for sure that big boats will actually see us, which is quite nice. But it's expensive. It's like $700 something. Then we have a personal locator beacon, so if something happens that we can activate it and hopefully be saved. And a wind indicator. Still trying to figure out what else, but I think this is it for now. It is a lot of money, but it is really important.
I was just about to hop in the dinghy from the boat and then this big wave came.
Because of a launch driver.
So a launch cross came by us and made a really big wave, and we got soaked and I'm still dry.
So now we're gonna look for a 150 feet anchor chain, spend some money, well we need it. It's a G4 chain, which is good quality. Let me explain later without the engine. So this is the chain I'm going to buy. It looks in a pretty reasonable condition. A few pieces a little less. It's G4 chain, 5/16, so 8mm. It's really difficult to find longer than 100 feet chain in good condition. If you buy the G4 chain new, you pay between $1,000 and $1,400 in the States, and then there's also 120 feet of rope with it. So I'm gonna pay $388 for it. I think in a year or something it could use to be galvanized, but for now it's what we need. They're bringing it to me with a launcher because my dinghy will sink if I put it in my dinghy.
So our dinghy definitely would have sink, and now I'm on this huge boat to carry the chain. So nice, thank you guys. So you vlogs, do you see my well organized OCD cabinet? Yes, thank you.
We just did
do you please not want to make a mess out of it?
pinky promise.
Thank you.
We wanted to leave to the castle now to do our first time sailing together. Today there's a bit of wind, tomorrow, and then for the rest of the week less. But I'm losing some antifreeze, and on the last long trip I was losing a little bit, and now I'm losing more. There are two hoses which are really difficult to take out, so I've postponed it. But they are old, and I think one has a big crack on it, so I'm honestly afraid to go out now because I can just fill up the antifreeze, but if the hose gets a crack in it or splits off, then the engine will heat up, and then I have to anchor without an engine, which is not a problem, but then I cannot set the anchor because I cannot reverse the engine. And after having the storm of last week, I just don't want to take that risk. Rather safe than sorry. So we're just gonna postpone it a day or two and fix it first. It's the smartest thing to do.
Your hair looks really good.
You're joking, right?
You put a lot of effort in it today, I can see it.
Alright, let's start this party. So the antifreeze needs to be drained. This needs to come off. And here, this hose goes all the way to the back, to the heat exchanger. There at the back, it needs to go off. And then here behind, there's also a tiny hose connected, which also needs to come off. I got them out. Getting them out is generally the easy part. Now I'm gonna get replacement hoses. It is done. I was hoping to get it done before 10 in the morning, but as you know, boat projects have a tendency to take a full day, so yeah. Well, if we can't go sailing anymore today, we'll go tomorrow. C'est la vie. Before leaving, I laid out a chain in 10 feet distance, so that every 20 feet I'm gonna put this little hairband so that I know how much I put out.
We did our first sail this week together with Brian and Anne, and now it's really important that we start continuing with sailing quite frequently together. So now today we are going for our first sail with just the two of us. We want to go back to the castle, have a picnic there, and check the area out. So exciting! We just took off the tarp and we saw a dark sky coming up. It's just started to rain again.
Yeah, put up the tarp back. There's no reason
No, but
take any risk
I really
to go
hope
out.
I really hope it's not a squall like this week, because it looks like it actually. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Thank you.
The rain has passed, so now we can leave, and Luke is pulling up the anchor. So we are back on track. I'm steering, and Huub is installing the new anchor chain.
How's it going, Captain?
Aye aye! Ship ahoy!
Alright, we have to release the furling line. That's our wind indicator over there. And we are sailing. Oh my god. I feel like we're going off course. And we're going really... No, go there. To starboard. Let's raise the main. There's barely any wind, but who cares? Captain's gonna raise the main.
He's a cheater.
Huh?
I had to do it by hand, and he's doing it with this thing.
I always thought that all these drums have like something on it, like grip. That's what I'm used to, but these don't. I don't know if that's because back in the days they did it without grip, or it's gone on these winches.
Yeah, it's ancient. So.
It is ancient. Okay, we'll get this ancient boat up and running again. We're 70% there. Completely died out now. There was a bit of wind when we started. We tacked a couple of times. Let's go to the castle and let's come back when there's more wind.
Look at these birds. Right now we're going to anchor out over there, next to the castle.
The day before the recent storm, I did not set my anchor well, and now I know why. When I was crewing on other people's boats, I usually put down the anchor and chain or pull it up, but I rarely was behind steering wheel, behind the helm, to actually set the anchor. So I didn't really learn that too much. The mistake I made, I put it out, I put the boat in low idle on reverse, the boat stopped moving, and I was like, okay, this is fine. I have a chain that's too heavy for my boat, it will be fine. And it was not. I dragged like a lot, 200, 300 feet. Now I know why. When I put it out, I have to put the boat in high speed in reverse, because what happens is the anchor digs into the ground, and the amount of force that the engine of the boat in reverse puts on the anchor and the chain, that amount of force is what it will be able to hold. So when I put it in high revs, obviously I put more force on it than in low. So when it can hold that force, and then when there's a squall or a storm or something, it will at least be able to hold that amount of force. That's at least how I understood it. So yeah. My deck is extremely dirty because of the chain that was lying on it. Ooh, what are you doing over there? Did you just sneak something in your mouth? Is that feta cheese? Mm-hmm. Let's go to the castle. Yeah. Trash in the ocean. Gotta take it out. Good job. That's really romantic, honey. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just said to her it still feels very strange to own a boat. 4 years ago, when I quit crewing, I wasn't able to afford a boat, and now due to the increase of patrons and increase of YouTube income, which I worked more than 4.5 years, almost 5 years for this now, and the first 4 years were, well, difficult, and now I don't know, things are just, I just want to say that I'm just very grateful for, oh, someone is fishing over here. I'm just very grateful for the way things are right now and the life I'm allowed to lead, even though there are some ants here. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.